Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom, Dr. Nakwat out there, doing this true diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Now, this is a kind of like a special edition of the Judgment Report. This one's just titled, The Spirit of Mirth is Leading Many to Their Death, or Many to Their Grave, something along that line. And it might not necessarily be titled Judgment Report. It might be titled Judgment Report. I'm not necessarily sure on that one. But yeah, these are dealing with, mirthful situations with people getting got. I had one more up, but it wasn't the same. Most of them were mirthful. That was kind of just something that was different. So I wanted to keep it all on track. Let me see if, we might end up finding, something. But as far as we have now, we just have the 3 videos, okay? And, there's been warnings that are going out, all right, that have been going out for years about just being careful, all right? And I want to preface, all right, or preface this by saying this, the spirit of mirth doesn't mean, every once in a while you go and, you go out with your wife or, your husband and, he takes you out or you take her out or however it works. She decided she wanted to go somewhere. You decided you want to go somewhere and have a fucking new restaurant or some movie, right? That doesn't necessarily mean if you do something like that every once in a while, you're going off, you're wicked, you're in the spirit of mirth. No, that's not how that works, okay? And I know Jake has a tendency to go too deep and jump into the deep end on things, but you need to be in the kiddie pool for a minute and realize that, hey, you can go and do nice things, but you do have to be smart with what things that you're doing, okay? Like going to a movie. Can something pop off at a movie theater? Yes. And going out just fucking, I don't know, Olive Garden, okay? Something can pop off there. Something can pop off while you're at Target or Walmart shopping, man. Anything can really pop off anywhere, but there are areas and situations where things are more likely to pop off, right? Going out to the club, probably not a great idea, all right? Going out to bars, probably not an idea. House parties, probably not a good idea, right? Because there's so many things that happen at those places. It can happen anywhere, but there's certain places that it just happens more. Sure, you can get shot anywhere, right? You can get shot anywhere, but do you want to walk on the front lines of the Russia and Ukraine war right now? No. Why? Because you're especially more likely to get shot, right? So it's about minimizing risk, man. Minimizing risk and, not doing it all the time. You don't need to go out to Olive Garden every single day and then, hit the fucking, the Watusi, what to say, when you fucking just every single night. You don't need to do it, all right? Every once in a while it's fine, but if you're doing that every single night, all right, constantly, having to go and partying and do this and that, and that's really akin to the spirit of mirth, okay? And the spirit of mirth is leading many to their death, okay? There's a lot of people out in this world are in the spirit of mirth. They're going out there and getting drunk, getting high, right? And acting a fool, and then you go out there just to drink or whatever, and then you end up in a crossfire or something, and either you'll be in the crossfire and you won't get hit, and that's Lord have mercy on you and warning you at the same time, or you might just get hit, and that's judgment. You were meant to be there. So just caution. Use err on the side of caution. Be circumspect. All right, let's get a scripture right off the bat. Okay. Let me grab a drink while I'm at it. This is Ephesians 5:15. And it reads, so then, okay, I want to see if I could read up. Salakia. Not so then, see then. Salakia. Ephesians 5:15, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. And 16 is very important as well, as is the whole Bible, but to our context that we're talking about here. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Look, we are in evil days. We are in days where people are, we can prove this. We can get a scripture talking about the end days in Matthew 24. Matthew 24 and 12, it says, Matthew 24, verse 12, And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Now, mind you, if you're not familiar with Matthew 24, it's a book of prophecies, right? It's, the Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorant would call Jesus Christ. His disciples came to him. And, because the Lord made a comment about all these things being destroyed, of course, referring to the end days. And, ultimately his coming. And they said, what shall the sign of your coming be, Lord? How are we going to know? Right? How are we going to know? And you can go, and I highly recommend reading Matthew 24 in its entirety, up from top to bottom. And one of the things that he says, of course, it's red letter, and this is talking about those same end days. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay, because iniquity shall abound. Abound means to be on a wide scale. Okay, and because it's going to be so wide, okay, the love of many shall wax cold, which means they're not going to care if you make it home to your family. They don't care. Okay, another scripture goes on to say, talking about iniquity shall be, higher than you see now, or wickedness more than you see now. I can't remember how it actually went. I'm mixing. Here it is. Slakia. 2 Esdras 5:2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. Okay? And you really got to get up from verse 1. It says 2 Esdras 5:1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come, that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. So people aren't going to believe like that. Verse 2, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. So it's going to be, we're constantly, every day, every minute, every second that ticks by, we're wicked. And I say this right now at 4:21, when it turns to 4:22, of course you can't see it because I got the bar praising the Lord on there, but it's 4:21 right now. When it switches to 4:22, that minute is more wicked than it was in 4:21. And you say, that sounds crazy. That sounds bugged out. At every second, every inch, every mile, every minute, every hour, all right? Whatever time frame or measurement that you want to use, all right, that we get into the future, it's that much more wicked, all right? It's only getting more wicked. It's not getting less wicked. It's getting more wicked. So every minute that goes by, that new minute was more wicked than the last minute, because someone probably done something out there that's even more wicked than that's been done in that past minute. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. It's increasing. It is increasing, not decreasing. It is increasing. All right. So this world gets wickeder by the second, wickeder by the minute, wickeder by the hour, the day, the week, the month, the year. All right. It just keeps on getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Doesn't get better. So these people are just going to continue. They're going to get crazier than you see now. Right. Like it says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. I never heard anything like that before. Of course you haven't, because it's some crazy shit that they're doing now. Now, is there anything new under the sun? No, but it's amplified. It's not new. It's just worse. Okay? It's not new. It's just worse. Okay? So, but going back into Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, which means these people don't care. As a matter of fact, we can just have ChatGPT break it down. All right? Watch. Break this down in layman's terms. I don't even know if I'm spelling that right. It's pretty simple. Layman's terms. Because there will be so much evil and wrongdoing in the world, many people will stop caring and become less loving. Okay? So, what does this mean for the world? Well, it really got it right here. It says, the love of many shall wax cold, means that as a result, many people's compassion, kindness, and care for others will fade, Their hearts will grow hard or indifferent. They don't care if you live or die. All right? Spiritual decline. All right? Widespread evil will have real effects. It says, as evil iniquity increases, there you go. Shows well, iniquity doesn't mean evil necessarily. It means wickedness. It says it won't just stay on the surface. It will affect how people treat each other. Lying, cheating, violence, selfishness, corruption. When these things become common or normalized, they can break down trust, community, and compassion. All right? There you go. Going back into selfishness, it says this love will grow cold. This is one of the saddest effects. People who were once loving, generous, or hopeful may become they not once were. It's just the world as a whole is getting that. Numb, emotionally detached, cynical, or bitter, focused on only on survival or protection. It's a sign of the end times. Okay, there you go. Hey, call all you how about Shmi Shai. There you are with ChatGPT again, getting the realness. Right? It says in the full chapter, Matthew 24, Yahushua is talking about the signs that will happen before his return. This verse is one of them. So it's a sign of a world nearing crisis. We're not nearing crisis. We're in it. We're nearing even more detriment coming soon. Lord willing, not us, but the people of the world. It says it's also a call for the faithful to endure and not be swept away by the coldness around them. So there you go. It says if we're not careful, we can get used to injustice, hate, division, or despair and lose our love. This verse challenges us to stay kind. Well, no, they're going on some Christian shit, but that's where we're at. We're at a point where and it doesn't mean love everybody. Oh, you gotta love these Edomites. No, it's talking about iniquity. And the love of many shall wax cold. Iniquity, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Which people hate their own family. People hate their own friends. People hate everybody. They just hate everybody. It's not talking. Of course, we're not gonna like the people that whoop the shit out of us. Obviously, someone hits you in the face every day. Obviously, you're not gonna like that person. All right, but the love of many shall wax cold is really referring to on a grander scale. Okay, people don't care anymore. They don't think about this or that. They don't give a shit. They really just don't give a shit if you make it home or not that day. So and again, Ephesians 5. We're going back to Ephesians 5 and 15 and 16. To see then that you walk circumspectly. Circumspect means to be wary, unwilling to take risks. Okay, it says not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Well, let's go and get it to break down this. Okay, so of course, it's not going to tell us anything that we don't know. All right, because it doesn't have the Spirit at the end of the day. But it has to be interpreted. That's why we as men, all right, that are able to have the Spirit poured upon us by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, have to interpret what it says. Sometimes it's Christian nonsense, sometimes it's good. But ChatGPT can, it's just like some of the other versions, like the Good News Translation. It can put it into layman's terms or language. Sometimes we're not the most articulate of tongue. Okay, so ChatGPT can articulate it in a way that we wouldn't be able to get out of our mouth in the exact same way. So sometimes it can add insight, but it's not going to have the Spirit. You have to be able to interpret it yourself to the Spirit. So if you're ever thinking, oh, I'm gonna just go to ChatGPT and I'm gonna learn the truth, no, unless you already know the Scripture. Sometimes it'll say some wrong things, man. Just like if you go on Blue Letter Bible and you look at the interlinear or the concordance, sometimes it'll say things that are wrong. You need to be able to chew up the meat and spit out the bones, right, so to speak. So it says, let's get the layman's term. It says, be careful how you live. Don't be foolish. Live wisely. Yeah. It says, make the most of every opportunity because we're living in dangerous and morally challenging times. Walk circumspectly means to live carefully and thoughtfully. The word circumspect means to look around, to be aware, to be cautious, not just going through life blindly or recklessly. Well, it means wary and unwilling to take risks. Right? That's exactly what it means, is wary and unwilling to take risks. See? Wary and unwilling to take risks. That's what circumspect means. So, not willing to take a risk. If someone says, you a bitch, man, what you think? You think I'm a bitch? You want to fight? You say something, you say something slick and buck up, that's a risk. He might just shoot you dead right then and there. You gotta choose your words carefully. All right? Where it goes back here, live not as fools, but as wise. Don't live like people who ignore truth, consequences, or Yahweh. Be intentional, thoughtful, and spiritually aware. Redeeming the time, making the most of your time. Don't waste it. Take every opportunity to do what matters, especially for Yahweh. for good and for others, for the Lord, yes. And others referring to the people in this truth. Because the days are evil. The world is full of temptations, distraction, and evil influences. So you need to be extra alert and intentional with how you live. Not the biggest fan of that breakdown. So, you just got to be smart, man. And going to one of these parties is a risk. Of course, everything is a risk. Don't try to be an asshole. All right, we know Jake's a fucking asshole at the end of the day. Because I like saying that because you hear Eldon Monatazatba, all right, from GMS South Carolina. He'd be like, Jake's just an asshole, right? So yeah, Jake's an asshole, man. Jake is an asshole. You're a bunch of assholes, really, right? Not you brothers and sisters in this truth, of course. But you Jakes out there in the world, you're a bunch of assholes, man. You're a bunch of assholes, really. And you're slick, trying to talk smooth, buck up, all right, and say, oh, if it's like this, then what about that? Now stop trying to do that shit, man. All right, so, if I can't take a risk, well, hell, me driving a car is taking a risk. I might get in an accident. Best not drive a car. Yeah, you saying some shit like that, you might not want to drive a car, because Lord's going to revenge your pride, man. Your little scoffing and mocking bullshit, he's going to revenge you on that. Okay, avenge us on that, revenge you on that. All right, so you're gonna see, right? But yeah, it is taking a risk. That's why when we get into a car, we pray. Before we leave the house, we pray, right? It's smart to even pray in the morning about, to be kept safe in all the places that you go throughout the day. You don't know what type of event could happen, right? We don't. So yeah, everything is inherently a risk, but why would you take an excess risk that you have no need to do? All right, for example, with concerts, does that mean you can never go to a concert? No. All right, now would I be careful? Yes. Okay. Now the apostles, they recommend probably not even going to those, severely warning against it. That doesn't mean you necessarily can never, if you're wicked and you're gonna, the Lord's gonna kill you if you go to a concert. No, they're warning you for a reason, because it can be a bigger risk, and it just depends on if you go to a, and concerts are, it's a big crowd. That's why they're warning you. In the Apostle Gabar, it's a big, you don't want to stay away from big, giant groups of crowds of people. All right. And, it doesn't mean you can't do it. There's things, I've been to the Renaissance Fair, which is a bigger group of people. But again, you need to exercise caution with those things. Anything that, a especially packed Walmart in a city is a group of big people. But you have to err on the side of caution. You don't know what could pop off in any of those places. But there's riskier places. For example, going to a pop concert is probably a little less risky than going to a fucking, I don't know, he's not alive anymore, but something like a DMX concert, right? I think that DMX did die, yeah. But drill or trap concert, man. That's gonna be a big ass risk. That's even riskier than just going to a 50 Cent show, man. That's even crazy. I don't think there's much riskier you could do at a concert as far as going to a drill concert. I think that's about as risky as you can get as far as concerts go, right? So you just got to make sure you're making the right decisions, man. And it doesn't, again, that doesn't mean you can't go to a Renaissance fair or whatever. Of course, you're not celebrating a Renaissance fair for, or Renaissance. Fairies and dragons and fucking wizards and warlocks and fucking, fantasy video game bullshit, right? And Dungeons and Dragons type shit. You're not going there to literally celebrate the revival. You have Edomites there. You'll go and see there that you have them, and they get mad that everybody else is dressing like that because they're trying to celebrate their heritage. But no, it's turned into a nerdy festival. It's like the same thing. It's like there's nothing wrong with going to a Comic-Con, right? With like Star Wars or Star Trek conventions and shit. A lot of people don't because they're nerdy, right? But if you like that nerdy shit, all right, there's nothing wrong with going to those places. You just got to realize that, be on your P's and Q's when you're there. All right, and you don't need to do all the time. Again, constantly go, oh, they have a Star Trek, I'm gonna go to that one. Oh, they have an anime one. Oh, I'm gonna go to that one. Oh, they have one for the video game. Oh, they have one for the fighting video games. They have this one for the shooting video game. I'm gonna go to every. No, just look, let enough be enough. You go to one, all right. Pray before you go there. All right. At the end of the day, if the Most High is dealing with you, you're gonna be safe. All right. I'm not saying, none of us are saying you can't go there. So forbidding you never go there. No, the apostles and on down. All right, they taught us. So we teach you that, look, you got to err on the side of caution when you go to these places. But when you get in, there's certain places you should probably never go. House parties, I would probably never go. All right, again, just pool parties and shit like that. Unless it's like, with close friends, it's like you and I don't know, just you and one other person or two, just a couple people that you know. But when they have those big parties, you know what a party is, Jake. When you have those big parties, That's only asking for trouble, man. That's only asking for trouble, and that's taking an unnecessary risk, okay? An unnecessary risk. Yes, there's risk in everything. Yes, you can pray, and if the Lord's dealing with you, you'll be okay. But there's certain situations you just don't want to put yourself in. Can you go to a Ren fair or a video game convention? Yes. Can you go to a tool fair because you want to see that the new tools that came out? Yes, that's fine. Just pray, err on the side of caution, all right? And hope that the Lord's dealing with you. But I would not go to a nightclub. I would not be going around and hanging around bars all the damn time, all right? So if you go to a bar, get in, get your drink, and get out. Don't be hanging out there for hours, man. Especially in places like where I am in Vegas. I don't even drink like that because it makes me feel sick now. But if I was going to go to a bar, usually it's not even a bar. It's just at the casino or something like that. All right. Or I went to one bar that's down here, went in, sat, had a drink, left. Didn't hang around. All right. It was me and my dad went there, sat down, or I ordered scotch back when I could drink, ordered a scotch, drank the scotch. He drank his whiskey. Then we left. We didn't hang there for hours on end, talking to new people that we met. Sat down. All right, talk to each other, drank, left. All right, that's it. All right, and that's even. There's always shit that pops off at bars. I don't even want to be around those places, man. All right, casinos is one thing. Shit could pop off there too. You just never know. That's why you gotta pray. Let's get into these videos, okay? Because I wanted to go into a deep explanation there because Jake's always, so what? I can't do nothing. You're an asshole. You're an asshole. Yes, you can do some things. Yes, but there's certain things you don't want to do. There's certain things you don't want to do all the time. There's certain things that just, you got to think. Is it a smart idea or is it a bad idea? Either way, pray before you do it. All right? Pray, but in everything, pray. All right? So, anyway, let's get into these videos. All right? I've explained enough. You still don't get it. Moving along. This is a Bad Bunny fan shot and killed while visiting Puerto Rico for a concert. Again, that's why, again, is it wicked to go to a concert? No. Should you err on the side of caution? Absolutely. So, here you go.
New at 6, a New York man is dead after being shot while visiting Puerto Rico for a Bad Bunny concert. 25-year-old Kevin Mares was killed yesterday by a gunman at a night spot following an altercation. 2 other people who were also shot were hospitalized. This all happened in the town of La Perla in northern Puerto Rico. Mares was there with friends who were also from New York. They weren't injured in the shooting. It's not clear what led up to that altercation.
So, no, god damn it. Go back. So, there was an altercation. And again, it probably goes from lack of circumspection, man. Probably got, hey man, what you, blah, 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 blah. He said some shit and blah, blah. That's what happens, man. Again, not circumspect. Fun fact, this area happens to be the most dangerous part of Puerto Rico. Probably wouldn't want to go there then. Let's see. It's a ghetto. Right? Let's see. Known as a high crime area for years. People should do their homework before even going there. Exactly. Everyone's saying that. Everybody knows that's the fucking a bad area. All right? Bad area, bad area, bad area. So, look, man. Don't do your research, man. Do your fucking research. Here, I'm going to this place. I never know. Look, if I'm going somewhere, especially in a different fucking country, I'm going to find out if it's even safe to go around that place. If I should even be around there. So, that's... And again, he probably said something, all right, probably trying to, remain looking big and bad, probably go for a fall, as the scriptures say, probably said, hey, blah, 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 he say, hey, fuck you, man, and bah, 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 bah. All right, well, guess he doesn't have to, try to act big and bad no more, right? So, and that, you said, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Because that's the type of shit that Jake does, man. They go there, try to defend their honor, and they end up losing their life. Ridiculous, man. And again, you can see him how he is, young guy. This guy was probably in the spirit of mirth, constantly partying, hanging out with friends, going and doing this and that. And look, we don't say you can't have fun, all right? We have fun on a day-to-day basis, on average, because we're watching TV or we're relaxing, or on our days off. Of course, on our work days, we're not really doing that. We'll watch TV, and that's a bit fun for us. But with that bit of fun, we're still like, mourning in effect. Because yeah, the video games are fun, the movies are fun, but shit, we want to get the fuck out of this place, man. That's the only thing that's fun here. That's literally entertainment. All right, is the only thing that makes this place worth a singular shit. Okay, entertainment is, and you brothers and sisters really need to think about it, because think about it. If they took away your phones, all right, they took away your TV, your video games, would this place be worth shit? No, it wouldn't. It won't be worth a shit. How are you entertained? You're watching your TikTok videos. You're watching your YouTube videos. You're playing your video games. You're reading your books. Books are a form of entertainment too. You're watching TV. Can't remember if I already said video games. You're playing your video games, right? Take all that away, all right? And you say, well, that's because you young is just so accustomed to technology. Everyone's accustomed to technology now, right? I was around before technology was the main fucking focus of everything. Of course, computers. I was born when computers were already a thing and pretty well established. Yes, but when I was a kid, we rode bikes. All right, we went out and played football or soccer in the front yard, or roamed around, did random shit, got into a bunch of trouble like little kids do. All right, played with toys and shit, G.I. Joe, action figures, all that fucking shit, right? And I saw the little girls at the time. They were playing with their Barbies and shit, and their little Barbie dream house and that fucking pink ass whatever car she had, driving around and stuff. And we had those little electronic fucking little cars, those little kid vehicle, electric. What do they call those things? These things, I had one of these for a time being, outside and stuff like that. But all that shit it's not, you can't hardly let your kids go play outside now, because someone might abduct them and touch them. All right, you can't let them ride their bikes, because people drive so absolutely retarded now, because they're on their phones while driving, right? Swiping and checking Tinder and doing all this shit. All right, so they'll hit your goddamn kid, so you can't barely, if you do, you got to be with them, all right? So 99% of the entertainment now comes from digital entertainment. So get rid of all that, and then you realize you can't really ride bikes anymore, okay? And because one reason or another, okay? And you realize the society is just bullshit. It's nothing but a cover-up to keep you entertained, so you don't realize how bad things have gotten. If you really look down, man, and look around, things have gotten bad. Things have gotten bad, okay? They've been bad for years, but they've gotten worse. Okay, and there's things that we could do without our phones. It's just 9 times out of 10, other people don't want to do those things. All right, you can play a board game. All right, that don't require any electronics. All right, well, unless some of them you might need like a battery for like certain games, probably maybe, but most of them don't. I don't own any. I own a bunch of board games, and not one of those motherfuckers requires anything digital. I don't think. Let me see. No. None of them require anything digital. You can make all those with pen and paper. Dungeons and Dragons and Monopoly and all these different types of board games and shit and all that. Not the Dungeons and Dragons board game. Moncala. What are you gonna do? What do you need maybe for the rules? You can just look at that in the fucking box. It has a paper with the rules on it. So there's many things, but a lot of people don't want to do that. You can read a book. All right, but again, all those things are still a form of entertainment. Take that away. Those are entertaining you. Those are keeping you occupied. Occupations or what do they call them? Hobbies. Put the hobbies aside, all right, because that's something that really occupies your brain. You think, oh, I like doing this thing. Do you like the world, or do you like doing that thing? Okay. Do you like the state of the world, or do you like watching football? Do you like the state of the world, or do you like playing video games? You like fucking playing video games. You like watching football. You don't like what's going on right now, because everything else that's not entertaining, you look around, you realize there's fucking elites doing crazy evil shit back in the background. People are getting shot up and killed by police. People are getting abducted. They're doing weird shit with little kids. All these different things, man. The music is a form of entertainment, but even you look at that, and that's evil. It's got evil fucking messages in it, right? So this place is a lot of people try to stay in that mirthful spirit. Now, what is mirth? Okay, we mentioned a lot. What is mirth? You know what? The best way to get what mirth is Would just be to go and look it up in the Blue Letter Bible and find something that says it. Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness. There you go. So we can get this one. That was about Proverbs 14:13. So let's see what mirth means.
Strong's H 8057. Simcha. Simcha.
All right, now it says joy, gladness, mirth, exceedingly. All right, exceedingly gladness, joy, right? And that's the thing, it can be used for mirth, happiness, gladness, but or festivity, but really it's deeper than that. It is what is this? Blithesomeness or glee. What is blithesomeness? Gay or merry and cheery. But really, it's an intense. It's exceedingly glad. You're just filled with absolute pleasure. It's that that Bacchus spirit. All right, Bacchus. All right, the Roman god of winemaking, orchards, fruit, fertility, festivity, insanity, ritual madness, religious ecstasy, and theater. Okay, just in that Bacchus spirit, that mirth. All right, constantly. I got a party every single night. I got fucking club going, and you're I'm fucked up. You got a fucking margarita in your hand, smoking weed, snorting cocaine, or are you? And that's an extreme depiction of it. But constantly going and constantly partying. You go out to the movie theaters every single night. You get dressed up. Put on the finest cologne. You go and dance with your girl. Go and play some bowling and go to the movie theaters every single night. Can you dance? Can you dress up? Yes. You can wear cologne every day. All right. You can dress up every day if you want. But going and doing those festivities, right? Festivities every single day, it becomes a point where it's a little much, man. You're not thinking anything about other than, I can't wait to party again. I can't wait to have fun again and party again like that. I can't wait to, just dance around on the dance floor and have this fun and shoot some pool or do this every single day. Of course, you can do those things sometimes, but it's that constant state of, like it says, ecstasy, that constant state of ecstasy. What is ecstasy? A state of extreme happiness, especially when feeling pleasure. All right, constantly an overwhelming feeling of great happiness or joy. You should never be in a state of ecstasy in this truth. The closest you probably ever get is if you drink, right? I love this place. Woohoo! That's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Okay. It's Ecclesiastes, 7:4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. So if you're wise, you're going to be in mourning. And that doesn't mean you're sitting around crying all day. All right. But it would be better to sit around and cry all day than constantly be at the club turning up. All right. So the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. But you don't want a false balance, man. It's really not good to be sitting at home crying every day either. You want a normal balance. You need to learn how to mourn on the go, right? Mourn on the go, not sitting there, oh my God, I hate it. Man, I fucking hate this place. This place fucking sucks. All right, I'm going to get some food. I bet they're going to fuck it up because this place can't do nothing right. I'm going to sit there and eat my food. I'm going to watch me some TV. I'll probably have some fucking gay shit in it, right? Learn how to mourn on the go, right? Don't just sit there and wallow, right? And dig yourself into a pit. Well, mourning is you see it a lot with the men is in a form of anger. We're pissed off at this place. This place is fucking stupid, man, at the end of the day. Yeah, do we like some of the things here? Yeah, we like the football and with preseason going on and all that. And then we like there's certain things we like. We might like a certain movie or a book or a game series or playing video games or something. But at the end of the day, that shit don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing. It's useless. That's just some shit. That's some temporary bullshit, man. We're sick of the state of the world, and everybody that you see is fucking stupid. They don't know how to interact with human beings anymore. They stare at you like you're a fucking alien from planet fucking Flubelflap. All right, they don't know what the fuck's going on. They're crazy. They're homosexual. They're feminists, or they're over here. They're evil and they want to gang bang. We're fucking sick of this place, man. All right, the housing market's out of control. It's too expensive to buy food half the fucking time. You know, the jobs don't pay you well. They treat you like shit. You got to do this. You got a manager, or a district leader, or someone, or a regional manager that's a fucking piece of shit. That's a cunt. There's always some shit going on. We're sick of this fucking place, man. Sure, yeah, but hey, it sure is nice to watch football. That don't mean shit. That's some entertainment. That's some shit to fucking keep you and that's the only thing that keeps you entertained. That's the only thing that really that you can find some enjoyment in, other than doing these lessons in scripture, because we damn sure aren't finding joy in talking to the people of the world, right? So yeah, watching some football or something like that, yeah, that's we can get some amount of, you know, fun from that, all right, or some game. But really, you know, the comfort is through how about Shimmy Shy, all right? So you got to realize that this place blows. Okay, so yes, we are in a state of mourning, all right, of not wanting to be here anymore. This place fucking blows. It sucks. Okay, so realize that. Ecclesiastes 7:4, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. So someone that's wise is going to think, man, I hate this place, man. I want to get out of this place. This place blows. That's in a state of mourning. It doesn't mean crying and sobbing and not being able to get anything done, okay? It means being sorrowful of this place. I hate this, right? Lamenting for wanting to get out. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools, so where are the fools at? Let's see. But the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. All right, constant state of joy and ecstasy and wanting to, you know, party. All right, with that thumping ass beat, boom, 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 boom. All right, with the lights going off and shit, and that raving and shit. All right, constant state of mirth. All right, and that leads a lot of these people to their death. Right. Here's another one.
But first, a pool party ends with a deadly stabbing spree. Now the manhunt is on to find the killer.
Investigators say the person attacked 4 people, killing 2 of them.
And you got all these overly fucking liberal snowflakes, all right? Just like the overly racist fucking conservative magtards, all right? Both of y'all are fucking dumb as shit, all right? You have them saying, well, guns ain't never hurt anybody. Yeah, people have been shot with guns before. Yes, it's the person, but it would sure make it, you know, it wouldn't, it's easy. You can shoot a whole lot of bunch of people quicker than you can stab a whole lot of people quicker, all right? And in some certain circumstances, you can stab a whole bunch of people in certain circumstances as well. But guns definitely make it easier, or else why were they invented, right? They're meant to kill someone way over there where you couldn't get, all right? Dumb. And you liberal, well, ban all the guns and people won't die anymore. The killings will stop. What, you gonna ban knives too? Both of y'all are fucking dumb.
A man and a woman. This happened near 7 Mile Road and Fleming Street, where neighbors say the house is often used for parties.
Tonight, Shantae Passmore
Look at that. Often used for often partying, constant partying. There you go.
has an exclusive interview with the
And
family.
lo and behold, look at the melanated individuals. Lo and behold, it's Jake. Who would have fucking guessed?
Of one of the victims, plus what the property owner told her went wrong at the party.
Family identified one of the victims as being Jakari Williams, who actually hosted
Yep.
what's being described as an intimate gathering for close family and friends. Instead, he wound up losing his life after the father reportedly tried to break up a fight. Another neighborhood reeling from another night of violence.
With this being so close to home.
See, they said it was close friends. So even with close friends, it can be risky. Too many people in one place is just you know, talking to each other, and with alcohol involved, risk.
You know, that was really scary for me.
Just before 10 p.m. near this home, police say someone stabbed 4 people. At last check, Detroit police reports a man is expected to survive, while another is in critical condition. Meanwhile, a woman in her 20s died. 31-year-old Jakari Williams also killed. In a sit-down with Local 4, his mother, Kimberly Williams, shares how she'll have to bury yet another son.
He was kind. He was kind. He was kind.
Neighbors say this home is known for being a house available for rent to throw parties.
Yep. Look at it here. Look. Well. What the fuck do we have here? Let's go back.
Rent.
Look at the chicken heads. Chicken head. Look at that, right? Bunch of dick suckers right there, man, and a fucking bunch of YNs. All right, look. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Look, booty cheeks out, but we're at the pool. God damn, you wearing panties. We at the pool. So what? We at the pool. We around the ocean. We around the water. We can dress like that. Okay, would you come out your hotel room like that? No, you would hate to come out your hotel room like that. But if you're in an area where they consider it okay, now all of a sudden it's okay to do. You didn't have to do that. That's too much, man. That is too damn far. Now that and bathing suits used to be bathing suits. This shit is up her ass, man. That ain't a bathing suit. Those are some panties, bro. That's the thing. It's a bathing suit. Bathing suits didn't used to look like that. All right. Look at the bathing suits now. See, look, hell, even prove my point. You could get a bathing suit like that. And a lot of bathing suits are revealing and shit. But look, even this, all right, is less revealing. Even this, it still show the whole crotch area, but if they just made it come down a little bit on the leg area, I mean, it's, not ideal. But look at this. This is even better. This is even better than what they're wearing. Okay? This is even better than what they're wearing. And that's not saying much. That's really not saying much. This, and none of these bathing suits are really modest. If you look back at what they used to wear in the 1920s, those bathing suits were modest. And look at that. I don't even want to put that out there, man. That's ridiculous. I'm gonna put it up there just to show. Look what they got the little girls in. The same thing. So they're letting little girls dress like that. That's sick. That's fucking sick. Look at this. This one comes down. This one comes down. Now the top's too short. Mix that with something like that's I don't know, fucking something that's got more covering, and you'd be fine. Have something like that just comes down a little bit. This would be fine. I mean, it's still, more revealing than you normally have, but if this just came down to about like a little bit lower on the thigh, right? And like a short level, that'd be fine enough. You wouldn't be saying all these bitches are coming around wearing panties. Look at this. That's just panties. They're just wearing underwear, man. Look at the men. Look, dreads. That guy had dreads. This guy had dreads. That guy in the background, I can already tell he has dreads. This guy, I can't tell if he's an Iscarite or what. But look, man. Ridiculous.
It's loud.
Ridiculous.
It's rowdy. They block
Look.
up the street. They fly down the street. They have no respect for the neighborhood.
Saturday night, their worst fear came true. Past the crime tape, property owner Alvin Taylor takes us inside, claiming Williams hosted the pool party for close family and friends. It reportedly wrapped just moments before the violence erupted out front.
Just unfortunate, they were all together. It was all, it was a family thing.
It was a family thing.
It was a family event. It ain't like it was a bunch of young people running around.
Meanwhile, investigators say,
well, when your family event's a bunch of YNs, I guess that says a lot then. And they're probably trying to cover save face. I bet there were some people. They said there were some friends. They already said there were some friends and close friends. Now you're changing to say now it was a family event, no friends. Which one is it? I bet there were some fucking people that had no business being there. Somebody brought their boyfriend. Somebody brought a bunch of fucking people that they didn't know.
They know who
That
they're
always
looking
works.
for, and so does the Williams family.
I want them to get caught.
And we're told the alleged stabber is no stranger to the Williams family. As for the home, it has cameras set up all around it. The homeowner is telling us they've handed all of that footage over to investigators for this case. If you know anything, you're asked to call Detroit Police. On the city's east side, I'm Shantae Passmore, Local 4.
There you go. There you fucking go. Uncivilized behavior caused this. Absolutely. Well, why isn't the family telling us who did it? Show us his name and photo. Let's see. Music gets their heads in the drinking. No respect for themselves to others. Just sad. That's why I stay home. Smart. You're smart. Says, why don't you do something to fix your neighborhoods? Why don't you do something, all right, to fix your fucking neighborhoods from fucking their sisters? How about that? Can't control other people. Hey, everybody, stop. Oh, shit, we didn't know it was bad. Okay. Ridiculous. See, first off, way too many people invited to a pool party at a rental home. No way I will be there. Okay? Just another day in Detroit. So, there you go, man. Just not using circumspection. Not using circumspection. Okay? So, and then one more.
This morning as officers are on the hunt for the suspect after a deadly shooting in the
Oh, I'm wondering where Dewey from fucking Malcolm in the Middle been doing.
Northwest Valley. Metro Police say this all happened at a large party near Ann Road and Durango Drive. That's where we find Allura Lagarde this morning. She's live. She's learning more about who was killed there this morning. Allura, what are you seeing out there right now?
Well, Evan, good morning to you. Just to go right into it, this happened actually in a gated community. It happened in the Sable Oaks community, as you can see over there. The homicide itself happening beyond the gates, but let's just go into exactly what we know. First, showing you the map as to just going into exactly what happened. Around 10 p.m., Metro received 911 call regarding a shooting that took place at the 5600 block of Bonita Vista.
Ann and Durango, that ain't. I've been around there. Ann runs through a big chunk of Vegas. So same with Durango.
Street near Durango Drive and Ann Road, as you can see here on this map. Several callers stated they heard gunshots and screaming coming from the area. Prior to the shooting, Metro says there was a large gathering, a party of some sorts, at one of the residences. Sometime during that party, an altercation ensued and an unknown individual produced a firearm and shot a male victim. Now, officers located that male individual who was suffering from that gunshot wounds in the front of a residence, and officers immediately beginning to perform aid. Unfortunately, when medical did arrive, they did pronounce that the individual was deceased on the scene.
Animals,
At this
there
time,
you go,
we do
the
know
Esau.
that this is an isolated
I'm waiting for
incident,
someone to
but
say usual
anyone with
suspect. Let's see.
information is asked to contact Metro Police, and that number can be found on our website at news3lv.com. I'll be staying out here to see what more information we can learn.
Hectic scene there in the Northwest Valley. I know you can't see much from your vantage point. Maybe you'll hear from neighbors who witnessed it all. Again, we are on air for 3 hours this morning here up until 7 o'clock, so a lot to digest, a lot to get into here from that breaking news scene, and you'll be out there, Allura. Thanks for keeping us updated.
Enjoy y'all's vacation. Every once in a while, I just like to make these motherfuckers make another account. Let's see. But yeah, you see it. You know. But hey, man, let's get James 4:9. I think that might be where we close out. It says, James 4:9, be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. So again, you're not supposed to be being in the spirit of mirth. Okay? It's just not smart. I wanted to get one more scripture. Go ahead and get this one, or a judgment scripture. Amos 3:6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it? There you go. So, and look, let's get one more. You're all in the wrong. Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, who ever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. You're out there doing wickedness, putting that wickedness out in the world, you're going to get that right on back. And that's just how it goes. So that's been the lesson. We're going to close out there. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, Shem Dash. Once again, hopefully it was edifying. And I want to say shalom to Yaakov and Aquath out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.